when you manifest certain levels of wealth and the blessing of the Lord that is beyond the intelligence of men. It's not just about the display of money. You demonstrate the intelligence of a government that is not earthly. Are we together now? The Bible says, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom. It says, let not the strong man or the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches. It says, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me. There are other dimensions of glory, like speed. You see, let me tell you, the highest level of dominion is dominion over time. Listen carefully. You can have dominion over things, but when you have dominion over time, because the unit of destiny is time. True dominion is dominion over time. Because you see, from a human standpoint, time only moves forward. It cannot move backward. Are we together now? And that your destiny is represented in time. So when time goes before you and you do not maximize it, you are already disadvantaged. The ability to have dominion over time and command things like speed and restoration. Now that is real dominion over time, where God takes your 10 years and puts it in 1 year. There are other expressions of glory like favor. When someone just decides to invest their credibility, their love, their resources upon you, it is not normal, because the heart of man by default is desperately wicked. Whatever will make a man forget about his own agenda and turn to you with a determination to see that you succeed, it cannot be human. Are we together? And there is a clear proof of favor. When the favor of God is at work in you, the Bible gives us very clear indices. For instance, Exodus 3 and verse 21. And I will give these people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. And it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go empty. Being empty has a spiritual explanation. Are we together? It takes favor to be established territorially, that God will give you space, because there is a dimension of dominion that is represented in land, and it takes the manifestation of favor for that to happen. Psalms 44 and verse 3. Psalms 44 and verse 3. They got not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them, but thy right hand, thine and thine arm, the light of thy countenance, because thou hadst a favor unto them. There are many other dimensions of favor, like honor. Do you know what honor is? Honor means to be perceived to match your true worth. It is possible to be this high, but to be perceived this low. Honor makes sure that the perception people have about you is a true representation of your sacrifice. Many people do not have honor. They are good people, but that grace is not upon their life. Are we together? Yes. So these are the various expressions of glory. So when your life becomes an effulgence of the glory of God, we expect to see in perpetual display every day these dimensions, from his wisdom to his favor to speed to excellence. You see that now? Excellence is another expression of that glory. To excel means to surpass ordinary standards. Oh Lord our God, he says, how excellent. His name is not only great, his name excels. Is someone learning tonight? Yes. So God desires that my life and your life become and remain expressions of his glory, that our lives will consistently be testaments of what God can do in and through men. So from his wisdom to his wealth to his favor to his blessing to speed to honor, your life becomes a recycling experience of these divine attributes. It will be impossible for this dark world to ignore you under that condition. The Bible says, arise, it says, shine, for your light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon you. It says, for darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But upon you the glory of the Lord shall arise. And then verse 3 of Isaiah chapter 60, it says, Gentiles or nations shall come to your light, and even their proud kings to the brightness of your rising. Listen, it is impossible to be ignored when your life becomes a perpetual effulgence of these attributes of glory. When Jesus walked upon the earth, listen, you know what made Jesus unique? It was not just that he was the Son of God. They saw a display. Never had they seen such a rich combination of godlike qualities in a man. Never had they seen a display of wisdom and favor and power and love and kindness. That invincibility was, they said, who are you? The wisdom of God, then the favor of God, then the power of God. He will rebuke devils and they would leave. What manner of man is this, that even the winds and the waves obey him? To hear is not enough, they must obey. Are we together? Listen, I'm teaching you this because Jesus said, as my Father had sent me, he said, so send I you. You know what it means? As my Father has sent me, with the same equipping, I send you. Your life should never be ordinary by any standard, regardless the background, regardless the geography of your assignment. You don't have to be a man of God. You just need to be a believer with understanding. Unfortunately, dear people of God, many people do not live up to that standard. It is a mandate upon us that our lives reveal the glory of God. Here's how the Bible puts it. Jesus was teaching in Matthew chapter 5. When you read from verse 13, it says you are the salt of the earth. The assignment of salt is to add value and to preserve. Is that true? You are the salt of the earth, he says. That if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is good for nothing but to be thrown down and, cast down and trodden underfoot by men. Then he now tells us you are the light of the world. You are in the similitude of a city that is set on a hill that cannot be hidden. It says, neither do men light a lamp and put it under a bushel, but they put it on a lampstand, and it gives light to everyone there. So let your light so shine before men that they might see your good deeds, the display of these divine attributes. According to God's desire for men, your lips should not be the only instrument preaching the gospel. Your life should also be an evangelist. Not just in holiness and character, that is wonderful, but there should be a display of such possibility that people will look at you and say, is Saul also one of the prophets? From whence did you fetch this level of excellence and intelligence and power and grace? Psalms 82 and verse 5, the tragedy. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, the Bible says, and all the foundations of the earth are out of course. Verse 6 says, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. The tragedy is in verse 7, but you shall die like mere men and fall like one of these princes. The gap between prophecy and experience is knowledge. Not the knowledge of what you want, the knowledge of what it takes to manifest what you want. Many people know what they want, Midwifing prophecy and experience is knowledge. High level spiritual illumination. It is for this reason he gave unto some apostles and prophets and evangelists and pastors and teachers. Why? For the maturing of the saints. That the saints now matured will do the work of the ministry until we all come to the fullness of the stature of the measure of Christ. Are we learning?